how dementia is related with hearing loss and hypertension. Second question is about screening. The AAA screening, what are the benefits of doing it and why do you recommend it?
What? So
The screening, AAA, AAA screening.
okay. So related to the hypertension and dementia, so having high blood pressure, sometimes if it's not caught early on, it could lead to something called as mini strokes. So which may not show up as a big stroke, and people may not show signs and symptoms of the big stroke, but people can have mini strokes over a period of extended period of time, and after extended period of time they may actually start showing signs of dementia, which is called as vascular dementia. So that's why they strongly recommend having high, controlled, having good control of your blood pressure.
And hearing loss?
So for the hearing loss, it does not directly affect dementia, but anyone who has dementia, it is also, if they have hearing loss or if they don't have good hearing aids, it is one more layer, or it is another factor which isolates them. So if you don't have good vision, if you don't have good hearing, with dementia you already have some isolation. If people have challenges, either understanding or being able to express themselves. But if you have hearing loss, it's another layer for patients with cognitive challenges. Then it becomes more complicated for them.
Rakeshji, perhaps you can stop sharing a screen now.
Okay.
Yeah, and the screening, AAA screening, I would like to understand a little bit more.
So for the AAA screening, or the aortic aneurysm screening, so it's recommended only for men between the age of 65 to 75, and it's recommended because you want to make sure that between that age group for men who've ever smoked, there's a risk that they may have an aneurysm where it's almost like the aorta is ballooning up, or it's getting wide. So you want to make sure that that's not happening, because if they do, then it needs to be monitored. Because sometimes if they do have an aneurysm beyond a certain centimeter, it's at risk of either bleeding or having complications.
And do you recommend carotid screening also after age of 65?
So there is not good enough data for regular screening. Only patients who have symptoms, they need to be checked for it, but there is not good enough evidence that it needs to be screened. They need for regular or annual screening.
Okay, thank you.
So this is Narayanan. You mentioned 5 different places in 5 different parts of the world, which has increased life expectations or life expectancy,
yes.
Right? And each one of them is assigned to a different reason, right? The major factor, I wouldn't call it as reason, major factor is identified as different.
Yeah.
So is there any statistical evidence to show that, okay, vegetarian Indians live longer compared to the rest of the population in India?
That's a good question. I will have to look more into that.
Okay. No, because the reason is, I'm a vegetarian, right? So I'm not questioning the principles of vegetarianism, but there is a discussion that happens all the time between vegetarian versus non-vegetarian. So I was trying to see whether there's any statistical evidence to show that in Okinawa, I understand, they also drink, I think, turmeric water and bitter melon juice and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I completely, understand. So Loma Linda, you said faith, and Italy, you said wine and this thing. So if I put all of them together, what is available in Costco, I can drink wine and be a vegetarian and then live longer.
So Narayanji, one comment I would make is that being a vegetarian isn't necessarily a sufficient condition. You can be a vegetarian and have very poor diet habits too, eat fried
Correct.
food and fats and so on. So, but plant-based diets in general seem to be getting more and more recommended by experts. So,
Oh, no, I agree. I agree. My question is the generic discussion that people have on this brand A is better than B completely. That's where I was going with it. I completely agree with you. Right? I mean, I have been a vegetarian forever.